Breaking news, my lovely, wonderful people, is happening. Court just issued fresh ruling on Nnamdi Kanu's case, who has already been sentenced by the Supreme Court, Judge James Omotosho. That has already been settled. However, some persons have gone to see, the president, and also they've given the court opportunity to relook at his case. In Nigeria, the Supreme Court is supposed to be the highest court of authority, but what we are hearing now, a lot of persons have said there is an unjust ruling on Nnamdi Kanu, and the court has just issued fresh ruling on the Nnamdi Kanu's case. So everyone is particularly watching and want to see, how things can go on from here. Please don't forget to give us a thumbs up, like us, share, subscribe. Let's get all the details. Court issues fresh ruling on Nnamdi Kanu's case. A federal high court in Abuja on Thursday had an attempt by Emmanuel Kanu to appeal for his elder brother Nnamdi Kanu Supreme Court issue has spoken. The judge ruled that only a qualified lawyer can represent the detained leader of the Indigenous People of Biafra, IPOB. Also, the court ruled that the hearing of a pending application seeking to transfer the convict from Sokoto Correction Facility to December the 8th is still being looked at. Nnamdi Kanu, who was convicted on November the 20th, 2025 on 7 terrorism charge and handed a life sentence, has remained in custody in Sokoto. He was moved there shortly after the judgment following the court concern about recurring security breach at the Koji Correction Center. And so they have said it has to be Sokoto, where he's not really familiar with the terrain, or his people can easily get access to or come around. Thursday's sitting took a new turn when Emmanuel stood up in court and announced that he would represent the IPOB leader. The presiding judge, James Omotosho, immediately stopped him. The judge insisted that the law does not allow an ordinary citizen to appeal for anyone in a criminal matter who is already being convicted, stressing that only a licensed legal practitioner can move on an application on behalf of a defendant or convict. Justice James Omotosho, addressing Emmanuel Kanu, directly explained that the representation in court cannot be done by relative or anyone related to the matter personally. He advised him to either hire a competent lawyer or seek assistance from the Legal Aid Council if he lacks the means to hire a private lawyer. The judge said the court would not consider the substance of application until it is properly filed and moved by the council. Emmanuel then requested the next possible date. The court fixed December the 8th, despite the judge stating that Monday was already heavy with cases. The judge also issued a warning regarding public commentary on the case. He noted that one of Kanu's former lawyers lately has been acting as a consultant, has claimed that the convict could not compare his appeal record unless he applied physically in court. Justice Omotosho dismissed this as misleading, saying the law does not require a convict to be physically present in court for the appeal record to be prepared. He put the question before other lawyers in the courtroom, who unanimously agreed that Kanu's presence was not required for the completion process. The judge urged those speaking publicly on this matter and spreading incorrect interpretation of the law to stop. After refusing to take Emmanuel's appearance, the judge adjourned the case to December the 8th for proper hearing of the motion. Kanu's application, which is personally signed from custody, asked the court to order his transfer from the Sokoto Facility Correction Center within the Abuja jurisdiction. According to him, the distance over 700 kilometers make it practically impossible for him to exercise his constitutional right of appeal of the conviction or have his family, friends, members come visit him. He argued that preparing his appeal requires communication with the Federal High Court and Court of Appeal in Abuja, as well as access to his relative and consultants who are already living and presiding around the Abuja capital area. The judge also requested in the alternative that the court move him to Suleja or Kafi, both of which are near Abuja, so he could properly manage the appeal process. Kanu's motion listed several reasons why his current detention location posed hardship. He stressed that he is currently without any legal team and plans to personally hand aspects of his case which demand direct contact with the court office. He added that leaving him in a remote detention undermined his right, which under Section 36 of the 1999 Constitution, the court will consider all the issues when the matter comes up on the 8th. So Kanu's matter is still being looked at. Leave us a comment. Let's hear from you, because as it stands at the moment, a lot of persons has been speaking, and even Adams Oshomole spoke about the Kanu's case. And guess what? Even the former governor of Kaduna State, El-Rufai's son, spoke and asked why bandits, okay, who kill, destroy lives and property and do all forms of things, is handed 20 years, and Kanu is handed life imprisonment. And guess what? We all know El-Rufai's son, a very northerner of the north indeed. So everyone is particularly, very particular about this Nnamdi Kanu's case. And a lot of judges and lawyers have also spoken about the case, asking for, why Justice Omotosho will go that route, because it seemed very much like there are vested personal interest in this matter. So the Kanu case is not a write-off. Okay, a lot of issues are still being looked at, and Kanu is still, although has been sentenced by the Supreme Court, but guess what? This matter is coming up, and that's what you are hearing right about now. So it is important that we all understand this, that things must change in this country, and oppression has a name. And everybody understands it, and it must come to pass. It must come to an end, rather. It must really come to an end, because enough, a word they say is enough for the wise. We cannot continue with the same thing over and over again and expect a different result. As it stands at the moment, it's about time everybody begins to, act, accordingly, and ensure that the transfer, the result and the truth of Nnamdi Kanu's matter is determined, because most of the things you can practically see, it feels very strongly that there's more to this than beneath the eyes. Please don't forget to give us a thumbs up, like us, share, subscribe. Click on the notification button so you can get all our latest news. Remember, you have a voice, and every one of us must continue to speak to end all forms of insecurity. God bless. Have a fantastic and a lovely day. And from us is bye for now. Bye-bye.